Hi friend, today we are gonna paint this magical folk art inspired winter landscape. I hope you guys enjoy. Grab your hot chocolate and we will begin. Okay, here is the drawing for today. We're once again doing, everybody's loving it so much that we're gonna go ahead and do another folk art inspired whimsical type painting. I went ahead and I sketched it out, so I'm gonna leave it here for a second so you can see, and then I put masking fluid. Now you guys don't have to do it, I just thought for me it's just gonna make it kind of easier to do. So when you use masking fluid, it is very important to let the masking fluid dry completely. And I believe mine is. It feels pretty dry to the touch, so we can begin. I am gonna use my Winsor & Newton watercolor. And then these are the brushes I am gonna use. If it may change, but my Cotman size 10 round, my long round size 6 by Princeton Velvet Touch, my Princeton Heritage size 0, and then my Da Vinci a flat top, or not flat top, but flat brush. And my dogs are going crazy, so every time per usual that I go to record. Okay. So I think the color we're going to begin by is I want it to use, I think I'm going to go ahead and use my indigo to begin with. So actually I think I'm going to use some indigo and a little bit of ultramarine. And the reason why I'm mixing is I don't want my indigo to look too flat. Oh, I guess I should probably move it over where you guys can see it. So what I am going to choose to do is I am going to flip this upside down, and it really makes it easier. Okay, so I got my mix, and then like I said, I tilted it upside down, and I use two precursor. I went ahead and I used two different masking fluids. The one I was using wasn't exactly working right for me, so I might have stained the moon, perhaps not, but I'm thinking I did, with the masking fluid. I didn't get it thick enough. So if that is the case, it's no big deal, because the holidays have way too much stress as it is, and a lot of people get the holiday blues, so this is just gonna be a fun way to keep your mind off stuff, kick back and relax, and enjoy the painting process. That's kind of why I like these, because they're just kind of really relaxing and just really fun to do. And so that is what I am doing. I'm trying to embrace the cold and the dark, because honestly, I am a summertime gal. I love painting outside. There's nothing like it. So being cooped up inside during the winter, I just kind of feel I needed to embrace it, because there's nothing I can do to change it. So the way it is, so might as well embrace it. Now I'm kind of dabbing off my brush, and I'm just gonna work this down a little because I wanted it darker on top. But this is really beginner friendly. Anybody can do this. I find it's a little easier if you do the sketch ahead of time, but feel free to do it how you like. And I think that is pretty good, but I think I'm gonna add a little bit of this Mars Black. It's either Mars Black or Payne's Gray. I'm not quite sure. I cannot remember, but I want to add that at the top. And just kind of here and there. I kind of want a moody sky. And the darker we can have this, the better our snowflakes are going to show up and everything. So snowflakes, stars, however you want, is your world. But we're gonna have some happy painting, and we are gonna leave the perfection behind today. There's too many other things. So you guys need to let me know down in the comments if you want to continue with this whimsical kind of feel, or if you guys are ready to move on. After this holiday series that I'm doing, partly doing it for the holiday art challenge with Dana, I can't think of her last name right now, so I will leave her information in the description below if you guys are interested. She has a list of artists that, with the hashtag, the holiday art challenge, you can see other artists and stuff using that hashtag. If I can get my words out. Words are hard today. So we're gonna go ahead and let that dry. I think that's pretty good. And then for a little extra texture, I'm gonna go ahead and use some table salt as well. Oh, you hear my dog? She's grunting at me. Okay, so we are gonna let that dry, and while that's drying, we're gonna go ahead and move on. Now, some of these I am gonna probably choose to also fast forward some of this so it's not forever long. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and I think we're gonna work on the house, because this way it will give the sky time to dry, because we're gonna have to kind of like bump up the stuff. So with that, for the sky, I am gonna use a mixture that we have on here of this, either the Payne's Gray or the black, but I'm gonna go ahead and I want to put a little burnt sienna into it. And to warm it up, and then I want to go ahead and take some of this mix, because I kind of want it to be like a slate gray. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this part because the house can be tedious and it takes me a minute. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and speed it up. Okay, so I decided to use my size 6 silver black velvet instead of the long tip Princeton. So I'm gonna go on and we're gonna do this path. And the house turned out okay. We're probably gonna go over it with some ink. And then I think with the ink and stuff it's gonna clean it up, and it's just gonna give it a cute little feel. So we're just gonna go ahead and do this path. And in this painting, on this painting scheme, we are gonna go ahead and we're using a limited palette. And if I remember, and I am awful at this, guys, but if I remember, which I will try to do, I will list the colors we use in the description. But if you ever have any questions about the colors that are used, feel free to ask me down in the comments, and I will be delighted to answer you. A little pathway here, and what I'm gonna do is I want to take our little mix here, because that's the nice thing with the colors we're using. We can use different tones, more or less. And this might be a little dry, but that's okay, because we can always soften the edge. We'll go through and we can soften it. I paint too slow. But I want to add a little bit of texture and stuff in. So, and then I am gonna take the brush and just kind of go along the edge. And you can see I'm just kind of tickling this stuff in. But you know what? Need to make it darker on this side, because the moon is on this side, so things are going to be a bit lighter on that side. So okay, that's good enough. You don't want to be too fussy. Okay, so now we're going to go down to the next layer, and what we are going to do is we're going to take our mix, but we're going to use a lighter shade of it. And while I am going to do this, I am going to once again speed it up. Got that completed. So now we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take some burnt sienna and I am gonna give it a brown door. Figure we have to let the background dry before we can do the next layer there. So we're gonna go ahead and paint this, but I'm gonna go ahead and I want to take some of this darker color and I want to put it in on this side, and why it's wet, so it can just kind of do its thing. Just kind of I just kind of want it to sit there and bleed, but I want to soak up some of that. There we go. Okay, and that's going to look nice. So now that's dry good enough. So we can go on to the next level. And once again, we're just going to take a lighter shade, because every layer we're going to go lighter and lighter. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and speed it up once again. Okay, so now I'm doing my favorite thing. We're going to add some life while we're waiting for that to dry. And I am going to take some of this cadmium yellow, and we have people at home upstairs, so we're going to go ahead and fill this in. I like using the cadmium yellow. It gives such a warm glow. I love it. And I'm all about the cute and whimsical during Christmas time. Okay. So it's nice and cozy, so that's great. And then I want to do the trees, and we're gonna go ahead and do them. I want to go ahead and do them in this bluish gray. But it needs to be a bit darker than our background. So we'll fill these in. And then I'm gonna lift up some. Okay, taking a clean, thirsty brush, we're just gonna remove some. And doing the same thing on this one. I kind of like shaping them out first because my hands are so shaky and I don't move very fast. And this is a softer brush, so the bristles are pretty flimsy. Okay, so taking the clean, thirsty brush again. Very nice. And then let's do this last one. Going through. And then filling it in. And then once again, taking a dry, thirsty brush, kind of rinsing it off, then taking it on the paper towel, I want to move some of the color on this side, but not too much, because tell you what, this paper isn't, it like dries pretty quick, so I'm not getting exactly the effects I wanted. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just put an extra color on this side and do it that way. There's more than one way to do things, because as you can see, I got a little bit of a line there, and I'm not exactly digging that. Taking some of this gray, I'm probably going to get a bunch of cauliflowers, but just trying to find a way to blend that in. I did not like that hard line. Okay, well, anyway, here we are. And it should be okay, because we're going to still add more stuff to it. We got to add the branches to it. So, and there's that. So now we're going to go on to this very last section. And being mindful of the trees. And so this is going to be our very lightest color. So taking a lot of water now. And then we're just going to go through. Like so. I'm trying to move as quickly as you can. And then I'm also trying to follow the curvature. And then this part. And then we're gonna do the tree down here the same way. Okay. So then we got this tree down here, so using that indigo and mixing some of that with the color down here. We're just gonna go ahead and fill this in. And I love this color. Okay. Let me clean it up a little bit here. Okay. And then I'm really liking this color, so we're gonna go ahead and do this tree here. And I love that color. Going over this because I want to kind of smooth blend. Okay, so we're going to just go ahead and let the rest of this dry, and then when we come back we're going to do the finishing touches. And I really think you guys are going to really enjoy how this is turning out. But I'm gonna go ahead and I want to put another layer right here. Okay, perfect. Okay, I'll see you guys when this is dried. Okay, so now it's time for some finishing touches. I went ahead and removed my masking fluid and everything is all dry. So we're gonna go ahead and I wanna go ahead and put on the last finishing touches. So I am gonna go ahead and I want to use a little bit of ink. I am just using a fountain pen, but you guys can use a micron or whatever you have on hand. But I am just less lightly sketching this out, because I think it's gonna add a little extra. And I do not mind a little ink and wash. I don't know why, but I love doing ink and wash for my houses. I just think it just gives it such a little extra. Okay, and then I don't think I'm gonna put ink anywhere else really. I just wanted to go ahead and around the windows. It just shows you can do a little bit of ink and wash and make it look very whimsical, and that's what I like to do. So we got that, and then now let's go ahead and put in our tree trunks. And for that, some of them I'm gonna do white, and I think some of them I'm gonna do this really dark navy blue, like black type deal, kind of like that color. Hopefully I'm in range. I'm gonna go ahead and check and make sure everything's good, and it is. So for this tree here, and these are just real simple. The main thing is having, for me, is I like having a sharp point. And then this one, hopefully I don't smudge that down there. And then we're just doing these little simple branches. And then this one here. And I really like that. And we're gonna use, it needs a little bit of shading, so we're just gonna go ahead and put that in there. And underneath the windows, these shaded. Lovely. And then we can give the trees a little bit of a shadow. Just I just kind of take the damp brush and it's gonna give it a little and I love how this is looking. Now we're gonna add in the fence. And I'm just drawing some lines, trying to keep them even as much as I can. And then drawing the line across. And then doing the same. And I love, 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 love how that looks. It's looking really, really good. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and, that one I wanna do white, but I'm gonna go ahead and do this one. These whimsical trees are just so stinking cute and so much fun. And this has been a really fun way to ease some holiday stress. And as I paint this, you can take some deep breaths in and let it out. And once again, take a deep breath in, hold, and then let it out. And do a little shading here. And I am trying to get better, you guys, with not having my hand in the way. So, the shadows aren't perfect, but that's okay. And then I want to move on with this fence. I want to go ahead and do this part first. And I want to make this actual fence a little darker because it's in the front, and then that way that one looks like it's more in the distance. So we're going to go ahead and do the lines. And I don't know about you guys, but I love painting in fences. I just think they're super fun and they look so nice. But I am truly loving this color scheme. Christmas has been so fun to be painting. And we'll go ahead and put the lines in up and down first, and then I find it's a little easier to do. And this just kind of breaks up the scenery a little bit more, which I like. It gives it a little bit more of a homey feel. And I love how it looks. I don't think I could be any happier with it. So now we're gonna go ahead and I want to put in the last finishing touches. So for this part, I'm gonna use some of my get the name right, Dr. P.H. Martin's bleed proof white. I love this stuff. So I want to put on a couple little shutters. My lines aren't real perfect, but that's okay. You guys will get the gist. Come January, we're gonna go ahead and start back with the sketchbook series because I am loving this, just, you know, doodling in a sketchbook. And then for this one, I'm gonna go ahead, take it all the way down. And with this being a darker color, I wanted to do the white. Oops. Make that a little bit thicker so they don't stick out. There we go. And then maybe here. Okay. So that looks super duper cute. And then I wanna fix up her little moon here. Looking a little rough with that masking fluid, but that's okay. So just cleaning up that moon. Perfect. And then I like, because it is a whimsical look, putting these little like snowflakes in. I think it just adds a little extra magic. Do 3 of them. And then trying to keep a sharp point, I want to put in like some fills back here. So basically I'm just drawing diagonal lines. I think my brush is getting too dry. There we go. And then do some thinner lines in between. I probably should have done the fence last, but hindsight, right? There we go, that's a lot smoother. I'm going to send it once again. I want one more line. There. I think that looks really nice. Actually, I think we're going to go ahead and just take it on through. Yes, I love that. Very nice. So I really love how this turned out. I just want to add a few more little dots. I love everything about this painting. It looks super magical. So if you guys like what you've seen, please like and subscribe if you haven't done already. And if you have subscribed, please hit that bell notification so you can be notified. And you guys have a happy holidays. And those who are newly subscribed, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And everybody have a wonderful, blessed day. Bye.